Hello, I'm Siddharth, an assistant professor of philosophy in the School of Arts and Sciences here at Sai University. I work in the areas of philosophy of mind, metaphysics, and philosophy of science. These are my areas of specialization, but I'm interested in philosophy as a discipline in general and the state of the discipline in Indian academia itself. I joined Sai University in 2021, the summer of 2021, just as we were about to begin our first year of undergraduate education. And I must say it has been a wonderful journey so far. What really excited me about Sai University is its innovative and unique interdisciplinary undergraduate curriculum and the experience that it wants to give for its students. And part of this curriculum, part of the motivation for such a curriculum, as I understand, is itself responding to the needs of today. Perhaps not all problems in the world present themselves as divided into neat disciplines, and I think that's what's exciting about such an interdisciplinary undergraduate program. And philosophy as a discipline, in some sense as the mother of all disciplines, I think has an important role to play in building such an interdisciplinary curriculum itself. This is also my first full-time teaching position. I finished my PhD in 2020 and it's been, as I said, a wonderful journey so far. So far I've taught various courses. I've headed a course on critical thinking and I'm teaching a course on introduction to philosophy in this semester. And I hope to offer slightly more advanced courses in philosophy, such as philosophy of mind and philosophy of science so far. I think the part of the challenge of teaching philosophy in today's time is to make it relevant. Sometimes when people are not very clear what philosophy itself is or why is it useful, it might be interesting for a lot, but perhaps its use or its utility or why should one study philosophy is a question that is there in the back of everyone's mind. And I think the challenge is to bring out this relevance not just for those students who are primarily interested in philosophy, but for everyone else as well. And I think this is where the interdisciplinary environment here at Sai University has been great. We've been working with faculty from other areas and coming up with cluster majors or interdisciplinary majors. For example, we've been working and we have offered even to the batch that has entered the second year this year a cluster major of philosophy and psychology. Similarly, we have another cluster major on politics, philosophy and economics, where students who want to understand the functioning of society and polity in general build their intellectual foundations through an exposure to the discipline of philosophy itself. I think apart from planning for an interdisciplinary curriculum, one of the biggest challenges is how do you implement this in the classroom, in your everyday interactions with students during the lectures. And this has been one of the most exciting parts of the challenge itself. In my classes, typically there are hardly any lectures where I just come and talk, which students listen to somewhat passively and taking notes and things. Rather, students are expected to take the lead in their learning process. They come prepared to classes, they read and come, and then classroom interactions are mostly built around discussions that students bring to the classroom itself based on what they read, and it's very, very interactive and conversational. There are various other methods that we use, such as often groups of students break out into smaller groups where they interact, where they learn from each other, and I think this is what makes teaching also quite exciting here at Sai University itself. I work in the areas of philosophy of mind and metaphysics largely, and also have interest in philosophy of science and some aspects of Indian philosophy. My larger intellectual interest is based on this enduring philosophical question, which is sometimes called the mind-body problem, or what is the mind and how do we understand mentality and mental processes with respect to the physical world, which includes our body. A large part of my research itself has been focused on how do we develop a middle path between two polarities that have driven the discourse in this area. On the one hand, people say everything, including the mind, is physical. On the other hand, there are those who say no, mind and mental phenomena is a second kind of phenomena. So my research focuses on finding a middle path between these dualities of physicalism and dualism. The discipline of philosophy, as I mentioned earlier, is sometimes seen as the mother of all disciplines, in some sense, the origin of all disciplines, from which various other disciplines such as the natural sciences, linguistics, and social sciences have originated. And this, I think, points us towards an important role that it plays in fostering an interdisciplinary curriculum and an environment, even as part of the undergraduate program. Another question that one often faces is, what can one do after studying philosophy? For example, people think, okay, if you study some of the natural sciences, there are certain kinds of jobs that you can take up. And this is, of course, even more evident when you study applied sciences like engineering. This is a challenge that one needs to face when one is teaching philosophy in today's world. Part of the response is that philosophy helps you think about foundational questions about how one lives life, about how one gains knowledge, and one understands reality, and how one leads an ethical life. This, I think, are crucial questions that everybody needs to think about for themselves, and hence an important part of liberal education. But apart from these, I think there are very important and valuable skills that one develops by engaging in philosophy, and most important among them would be the following. First, one learns and develops the skill of communicating clearly, and this is central to philosophy itself. One needs to clarify for themselves various ideas, and also think about how one writes and communicates their ideas clearly. And second, one learns and develops the art of thinking critically and reasoning about various things, including about issues of public relevance. And I think these two skills are important skills that every undergraduate program needs to help students develop.